Hey, what's going on, everybody? Happy Mother's Day. Just a quick, nothing special going on inside, but a couple of plants are still thriving and doing well. This was the one that was air layered when I had purchased it, so I'm not sure how the roots are in the bottom, but it's about time for that one to go outside. A little windy, and it's starting to sprinkle even though it's blue skies. Let's just get right into it. The blackberries are changing color. Check that out. Pretty cool considering, you know, all these plants are new this year, or well, within a year, not physically this year. I mean, these are new physically this year, but so that's pretty neat. These two, a couple brown leaves, but they look like they are growing and looking healthy. They've been getting fertilizer now. I've just been trying to be careful not to overwater them. All the buckets have the holes in the bottom, not just the sides like some of these other plants. See where I want to start. The fig is starting to get pretty leafy. I need to figure out what to do with a couple of things at the bottom. And at some point it needs to make its way out to the back part of the yard. The multiplying onions are doing really well. They're starting to hit their stride. You can see all the green new growth, so look forward to see what they're going to do. Let's see, I did shoot a couple of videos before I mowed the swamp. It's not a swamp right now, but I didn't end up grabbing those and smushing them in here anyway, so I kind of reworked the backyard a little bit. I made the alleyways, or whatever you call them, the rows, a little bit wider. I shuffled the apple tree over, moved the lemon tree by the other lemon. I need to get the other lime over here, but I'm gonna wait till I pick those potatoes. I don't feel like moving that bucket. Went to the local nursery, picked up some 6-foot little bamboo poles and put those in the fruit trees. Grabbed some zip ties and zipped them up, trying to get them a little more support. Same thing with the two apples. They were sturdy, but they were kind of wobbling a little with all the wind, so that'll help them a little bit, not a lot. The only cool thing is the amount of apples and how fast they're growing off of this tree. So they are a little smaller than a golf ball. Yeah, a lot smaller than a golf ball. But they're growing at a pretty good pace versus the single apple hiding back here. It's not really doing much, so who knows what this one's going to do. But all of the fruit on these apple trees is all new this year, so, and that's the first time, like I said, for this one. I think I'm going to get ready and air layer this branch or this one. I'm not sure yet. They're both about the same length. Got a couple apples. Nothing else super exciting on the back side of the bucket city. This lemon, I keep staring at it, just waiting. It can be picked anytime, maybe next week. I put a bunch of bamboo stakes. The potatoes keep falling over because of the wind and the height and the weight of them, so I just tried to weave a bunch in there, and we'll see how that holds up. Excuse me. The blue late green beans are starting to poke through. And same thing with the older potato buckets, trying to throw a couple of bamboo stakes in there, and I think I need to do that with the other potatoes before they start to fall over, but there's a lot of stakes that will be going into all the buckets. Excuse me again. Tomato plants are doing well. This one was the purple Cherokee. See if I can get back here. I was looking at these earlier. So this is the Husky cherry tomato. And I've got 4 or 5 tomatoes hanging out in the back here. So that's really cool. I did some trimming, trimmed the bottoms, trying to wait for some of these to get a little bigger, trim the bottoms so there's some airflow and some room to get some, to water them. This is the whatever sugar flavor it is, sun sugar. There's a couple little tomatoes hanging out in here and a bunch on the way. So again, slowly trying to get the branches above the rungs. Pepper plants, they're slowly starting to catch speed. The peppercini is really rocking. There's a bunch of blossoms, and I was in here looking just a little while ago. There's 4 peppercinis already hanging out in here. And more on the way. So this is the sole surviving rare giant crimson. None of them did well. Most of them died, fell over, broke. This one was pretty scrawny, but I had been watching a fair amount of the Veggie Boys and watching how they transplant tomatoes and peppers. It's pretty crazy. So I kind of took what they did with my little skinny, spindly, single giant crimson, and I transplanted it, pushed it pretty deep into the little pot, and I just transplanted it today, so more to come, let's hope. And in the bottom I put bone meal and blood meal, so once that starts, the roots start expanding, it should take off. We'll see. The one horseradish, it's rocking. The big leaf over here, actually that's coming up from the other. That was weird. This one kind of grew spindly. That one broke. And now it's got some big leaves starting. That's just so weird. They grew completely different. They were about the same size. Trying to remember which ones I planted. I planted watermelon radish, and I think these are the German Giants. And then I took the lid off, which had the black lid, but these also go faster. This is the French breakfast radish. Kind of wish I'd looked a couple days ago, but I think they grew pretty fast. Anyways, took the lid off and already thinned them out. So we'll see what happens. They may have gotten too tall and skinny too fast, and I may have to start over. Tongues of fire, starting to kick out some more. There's a few more beans in here. I haven't picked them yet. Kind of holding off to get enough beans to cook. I think there's a few hanging out in here. The dragon tongue, there's a bunch of these hiding. Like this ginormous bean. I mean, here, let me pick this one. Look at the size of this. I mean, it's 7-8 inches. So you can see the difference between that and, here I'll pick one of these. Granted it's a little smaller. You can see the difference in the colors, where the dragon tongue is a little more yellow and has a purple stripe, and the tongue of fire is green with a red maroon stripe. Again, when you cook them, the stripes go away, so it's so weird. The rattlesnake beans, they're doing well. There's blossoms, so I figure another week. I was looking for some beans earlier, I didn't see any, but they're probably just green and don't have their stripes yet, so anytime now for those. And then the cucumbers, the couple over here are the green apples. I think out of all that I seeded, only 3 or 4 were left, and I ran out of seeds. These, I believe, are the Wisconsin SMRs. Threw a couple bamboo stakes trying to get them to trellis up. The trellis is a little short. Ideally, it would have been nice if I had some taller T-posts, but I did the best I could with what I had. So, anyways, and then these are all Diva Cucumbers. And I planted a few new ones. You can see them kind of pop up. And there's a donor one. And that's just some clover weed looking thing. So use a little slower, but once they hit their stride, I think they'll be in pretty good shape. So that's the updates from Bucket City this week. Not bad, can't complain. Thanks for watching.